Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Dear students, as you know, we are discussing the chapter Deep Water, and it is composed by William Douglas. William Douglas, I would like to say, was not a professional writer. He was a great diplomat, great politician, and even though the most reputed jurist from America. But here, as far as the literary achievement of William Douglas is concerned, there is one, and that is Of Men and Mountains. And Of Men and Mountains is exactly the childhood experience of the writer William Douglas. He narrates the various incidents of his life, and probably Deep Water was one of the greatest account of his childhood days. Here in Deep Water we have to learn two basic things. I have already mentioned you. One is the aversion to water. Aversion to water. And the second thing, misadventure to water. When he got the aversion to water, and when was exactly the time that the misadventure had happened. So, apart from that, we have to read the role of instructor who taught him how to swim. How he got. How he overcame his fear of water. This is also one of the important aspects here we came through. Dear students, we have already discussed on this point. Let me tell you that right now what we have to do. Students, open your textbook now and we read it word by word. Okay? And time and again I would like to tell you each and every important word and explanation. See, William Douglas first was born in Maine, Minnesota. After graduating with a Bachelor of Art in English and Economics, he spent 2 years teaching high school in Yakima. However, he got tired of this and decided to pursue a legal career. It means William Douglas started his career as a teacher, but he was tired of this job and left and pursued the legal career. He met Franklin D. Roosevelt at Yale and became an advisor and friend to the president. Douglas was a leading advocate of individual rights. He retired in 1975 with a term lasting 36 years. And let me tell you the exact time, 36 years and 211 days. He was the most serving justice in the history of America. Okay? The longest serving justice in the history of the court. The following excerpt is taken from Of Men and Mountains by William R. Douglas. It reveals how as a young boy, William Douglas nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame it. So, we have to read how he got the aversion to water and after that misadventure to water and how it is possible for him that he became one of the proficient swimmer at last. See, it had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. It was the incident when William Douglas was only 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. Okay, there was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima. You know, YMCA pool. Young Men Christian Association pool in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. So where he got the opportunity to fulfill his desire, that was the spot YMCA pool. The Yakima river was treacherous, very dangerous, fertile, बहुत ही घातक थी. Mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind all the details of his drowning in the river. But the YMCA pool was safe. Mother continually warned about the incident happening there, but the YMCA pool was considered safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, while it was 9 feet deep at the other. The drop was gradual. So here this is the situation that the YMCA pool was only 2 to 3 feet deep at the shallow end. This is the shallow end, and while 9 feet deep at deep end, and the drop was gradual. Gradual means क्रमिक. पानी का जो बहाव था वो क्या था? क्रमिक था. One is called shallow end at the very beginning, and the another end was the deep end. And the drop was gradual. I got a pair of water wings. मैंने एक pair water wings लिए and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and saw my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. Subdued, gained self-respect and confidence. I gathered confidence. I tried to my best to handle the situation, and that's why I just tried my best to learn swimming. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. So, students, in the first passage, it is mentioned about the misadventure of water by William Douglas. लेकिन बाद में उसको हट करके वो aversion to the water के ऊपर आ गया है. Aversion means घृणा, नफरत. Aversion to water. I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old, and father took me to the beach in California. When he was only 3 or 4 years old, at that time, his father took him to the beach at California. He and I stood together in the surf. Surf means strong. Here a word surf, and it means strong wave. I hung on him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. क्या हुआ? Knocked me down, नीचे गिरा देना. I was hung on him, मैं उसके ऊपर लटका हुआ नहीं था, मैं कंधे पर बैठा हुआ था यहाँ पे. और knocked me down, मुझे नीचे गिरा दिया गया. I was buried in water. I was buried in water. मैं पानी में दफन हो गया था. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed. You know, in the whole incident, the father was laughing. Why the father was laughing? Because exactly father knew the range of danger. William Douglas was in his feet. वो उनके पैरों में ही था. लेकिन एक बच्चे के तौर पर जो 3 और 4 वर्ष का था, that was incident, full of fear. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed. But there was terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. Overpowering force. अथा बहुत ज़्यादा force of the waves. उसी दिन से I have got the aversion to water. So dear students, you have got your answer of first question. Aversion to water. My introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived unpleasant memories and stirred childish fear. Childish, bachkana. Very foolish. Childish may be said very foolish, bachkana. In a little while, I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings. was the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. Aping करना, कॉपी करना. Aping, कॉपी करना. जो दूसरे बच्चे कर रहे थे उसी प्रकार से मैंने भी उनकी नकल करने का प्रयास किया. I paddled with my new water wings, watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease. At ease का मतलब at comfort. At ease, comfort. थोड़ी सी राहत में मैंने अपने आप को महसूस किया. When the misadventure happened, उसी समय ये मिस एडवेंचर घटित हो गया, उसी समय दुर्घटना घटित हो गई. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet, the water was still, and the tide bottom was white and clean as a bathtub. When he reached there, he saw the complete phenomena. The water was as clean as in, remain white bathing tub. I was timid about going in alone. Timid means lack of confidence. So, sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. इसलिए मैं किनारे के ऊपर बैठ गया और दूसरों के आने की प्रतीक्षा में लग गया कि जब दूसरे आएंगे उस समय I would certainly to follow them. I had not been there along when a big brother of a boy came, probably 18 years old. Brother means tough and aggressive. Brother, tough and aggressive. बहुत ही ज़्यादा आक्रामक सा. Probably 18 years old. He had thick hair on his chest. He was beautiful physical specimen with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. Rippling muscles, उभरी हुई muscles, मांसपेशियां. He yelled, cried, चिल्लाया. Hi Skinny, how would you like to be ducked? तुम्हें किस प्रकार का गोता लगाना पसंद है? Certainly there was, asked in a very amusing way that how would you like to be ducked? With that he picked me up and tossed me into the deep end. After that what happened? He picked me up and tossed me, उछाल दिया into the deep end. This is the shallow end and he threw him into the deep end of the pool. I landed in a sitting position. It's very strange. He reached there in the top of the water, in the surface of the water, in just a sitting position. Salt water, पानी को निगला and went at once to the bottom. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. I was frightened, but not totally frightened out of my wits means there was a little bit of wisdom. I was confident that I may overcome from this situation. On the way down, I planned. While I was drowning, I made a plan. What was the plan? It's very simple plan. He thought that whenever his feet hit the bottom, the surface of the water, then he certainly take a heel jump upward and may survive. That was the strategy. On the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, came to the surface, lie flat on it, paddle to the edge of the pool. Paddle to the edge of the pool. Paddling करते हुए, हाथ पैर मारते हुए, मैं पुल के किनारे तक पहुंच जाऊंगा. What was the series of emotions? As I earlier mentioned, मैंने कल भी बताया था series of emotions क्या थे? While he was drowning, when he was drowning, he made a plan. He made a strategy that whenever his feet hit the bottom, he would certainly take a big jump backwards, may lie flat on the surface of the water and paddle to the edge of the pool. ये सारी चीजें कहने के लिए बड़ी आसान है. ये स्ट्रेटजी बनाना आसान है, इसको एग्जीक्यूट करना उतना ही ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट है. और वो हुआ, वो जैसे ही उसके पैर टिके, he take a big jump backward and certainly what he thought that he would be on the surface of the water, but that doesn't happen. It seemed a long way down. Those 9 feet were more like 90, and before I touched bottom, my legs were ready to burst. इससे पहले कि मैं bottom को touch करता, my lungs were ready to burst. Here all we got 3 or 5 facts. The first, aversion. Second, misadventure. Third, the strategy, the plan. while he was drowning in the pool. Or we can say in other words that series of emotions. Series of emotions. What type of series and emotions he was surrounded by while he was drowning? You have to learn basically that while he was drowning, he made up a plan. And his strategy was just very simple, that whenever his feet hit the bottom, he would take a big jump upwards, may lie flat on the surface of the water, paddled to the edge of the pool. But as far as the question is executing the plan, that was not possible. See, but when my feet hit bottom, I summoned means होता है collected, इकट्ठा करना. मैंने एकत्रित किया all my strength and made what I thought was a great spring upwards. Then I just wanted to gather confidence in me, summoned all my strength and tried to what I thought was a great spring upwards. I imagined I would bob to the surface like a cork. I would be certainly be out of the water just like a cork. Means शहतीर की भांति आऊंगा मैं. Instead, I came up slowly. I opened my eyes and saw nothing but water. I saw nothing but only water. Water that had a dirty yellow tinge. Tinge means color. I grew panicky. I reached up as if to grab a rope. I just wanted that I would certainly grab a rope, and my hands clutched. Clutch करना, पकड़ना. Only at water I was suffocating. I tried to yell, but sound came out. But no sound came out. I wanted to yell, चिल्लाना, cry करना, चीखना, लेकिन वो आवाज इतनी तेजी से क्रिएट नहीं हो पा रही थी. Then my eyes and nose came out of the water. फिर उसके पश्चात मेरी नाक और आंखें जो थी वो पानी से बाहर आ गई. But not my mouth. लेकिन मेरा माउथ जो था वो पानी से बाहर नहीं आ पाया. I clapped. मैंने हाथ पैर पटके at the surface of water, swallowed and choked. I want some air to take, but I only got the water and my throat choked. I tried to bring my legs up. You know, that was the part of strategy, that whenever he came to the surface, he tried his best to spread his body over the water. But that wasn't possible because he was not able to come, out of the water. Just his nose and mouth came out of the water only. I tried to bring my legs up, but they hang as dead weights. टांगे ऊपर करने का प्रयास किया, लेकिन वो मर्द बोझ की भांति वहां पड़ी रही, पैरालाइज्ड एंड वीक, बहुत ही लकवाग्रस्त और कठोर बनकर. A great force was pulling me under. Once again, a great force was pulling me. I screamed, मैं चिल्लाया, but only the water heard me. लेकिन केवल पानी ने मुझे सुना. I had started on a long journey back to the bottom of the pool. एक बार फिर से मैं दोबारा से एक लंबी जर्नी के ऊपर मैंने चलना शुरू कर दिया. और वो जर्नी जो 9 फीट की थी, it seemed to him that was probably 90 feet. So, dear students, we have to continue the same part again next time. Revise the same part, and after that we have to take further word by word explanation. So what you have to do, just read the whole part till right now and take know all the important phrases, words, and apparently take few of the questions. Just certainly you have to discuss 3 or 4 questions. You have to learn 3 or 4 questions. Aversion to water, disadventure to water, what was his strategy while he was drowning, or you can say that what were the series of emotions while he was drowning in the pool. So these are the questions from this part. You have to learn all of them. We continue next part.